Welcome back to the Matchbox Podcast. I am your host, Jay Pons. I hope all of you are doing well. As you can probably tell, we've changed up the studio a little bit. You know, we're always trying to make better improvements so we can do better content for you, man. But before I waffle on, I'd like to introduce two amazing talents coming all the way from York and Leeds. Please give it up for producer Beck and 4T7's.
Bring that talent, I'm new like bullets, I'm hard like colours, my flow no challenge, I spit like rabbits, orange like carrots, your man can't manage, you got no manners, I'm great like Alex. Tell him I'm khalas, talk is cheap, but my words cut deep when I think about dollars.
How you guys doing?
No, good man.
Was the drive like long?
When you got 47 chatting your ear the whole way down, it's not too
It's
bad.
long, doesn't it? Yeah.
No, but like, I really appreciate you guys obviously making the effort to come down because I know that's a long journey.
No, but like we've seen your platform, we rate it, and we just wanted to get involved, really.
Yeah, that's what we try and do. Like I was kind of mentioning to you guys before. Like I like speaking to artists because I like getting what are they like behind the music.
So it's an opportunity for like up and coming artists to really like express who they are. Because like when I'm putting out music, I've been making music for years in reality. So, but then people don't really see who I am. They just see the music that I'm putting out. So
That's what I mean, exactly. And we want to get 47 as a person as well, and what your views on the world, etc., etc. So your fans can really.
Deep today.
Oh no, listen, this is the surface level. So if you guys could give you like just a really small introduction into who you are and what you do for anyone who may not know you.
So I go by the name of 47. So about the name, people ask, where did 47 come from? So my initials, they're AK. When I'm writing lyrics, I'm talking about situations that I've been through, and it's kind of little shots at situations and people and experiences.
Would you say like being 47 is a part of you that people wouldn't normally get from you, like in the everyday life?
I would say that I'm kind of an open book. In terms of people that meet me, I don't really try and paint this persona of me being like 47 and stuff, but I just wear my heart on my sleeve when I'm going about, and I'm very open with it. So 47 is just who I am, really. Like. Yeah.
And Beck, what about you?
So I'm Beck Cred, I'm a producer from Leeds, work at UTM Studio. I'm an engineer as well. Just been, I guess that's about it.
Just
really.
vibing.
I'm here for the ride.
No, that's good to hear. I'm quite excited to get into this because we haven't really been able to do like a podcast with like a team such as yourselves. So this is kind of new for me as well, and I'm really interested to like delve into the chemistry between both of you, and obviously your other artist Jake's as well, which we'll probably get into a bit later. Beck, I kind of like to start this with you. You're a producer and engineer by trade, and so what made you want to get into managing on top of like what you do as well?
So I guess like when you're an engineer, like first of all, I started off as just creating beats.
Yeah.
So I've been making beats, and then I went through the whole process, as many producers will be doing, is like, I'll send them out to emails and send them to loads of people. You go through this whole process, and I'm sending about 10, 15 beats out at a time, and you get no response back, and then you're just like, it's depressing as fuck, and I couldn't deal with it, and I was like, right, I want to be there recording, getting people on beats. I wanted to see the project start to finish. And like I guess I'm a bit of a control freak. I feel like most like producer engineers are control freaks in that way. And and then I'll be putting songs out and then they're not being marketed well, or like people aren't like, they're flopping away and like being like for views or stuff like that, and like, come on, this is a good song, like we need to be doing better and that. So I feel like naturally I've just like in sessions and stuff, we'll just be talking about ways to market it and stuff like that. So it's just gone from there to just like being more hands-on and managing.
So do you think it's come from like a place of like, okay, if people don't want to give me a shot, I'm going to create my own opportunity. I'm going to create my own platform, my own blah blah blah.
This whole time's just been like everyone put me down. It's just me proving myself and showing everyone up. Like this is me. You know what I mean? And creating my own path.
I really rate that because I think that's a really like common feeling from a lot of people in this industry that like I speak to, and it's hard to start with. It's hard to get out there, hard to be known, and there's so much competition. Because we spoke to someone from Ray Sessions in Coventry. His name is Faz. He said exactly that. He said he was a producer as well, and he was trying to send his beats out one day maybe Kanye West maybe might hear it, but because like there's millions of producers, you need to do something that stands out from the curve, and I guess maybe start your own thing. So what is it about 47 specifically that made you want to manage him?
Ooh, it was like a long time coming, to be fair, because we've got like mutual friends and stuff like that, and I've seen him do my thing, and then we put a show on for Jake's headline show, and like obviously
It was the first time we met. To be
first
fair.
time we met, and like I respected his work and everything, but I'd seen that he's been working with other people, and I just respected that in a way. We messaged previously saying like, oh, we need to get in the studio, but like we're just doing the whole prancing about, and like never got it.
No action. I
Listen,
feel
that's like lads in the group chat, man. You know, when you're
No,
like, oh,
exactly.
yo,
Like
do you want to
planning
go?
a holiday,
yeah,
man.
go on
It's
holiday.
just-
Yo, we going Nando's this
Yeah,
weekend.
man. You can't get shit
I'm
done,
there.
can
What
you?
time? And bro, no one replies, and it's like it's all long.
Nah, it gets like that, innit?
It's just fucking lads.
But yeah, and got in, and to be honest, I didn't realize like how class you were until that first session, because it was just like his professionalism is class, like in the studio, like his knowledge of like also like the mixing and mastering everything. It makes it so much easier for myself.
Okay.
So he's got a good head on him when
So
it comes to that sort of stuff.
Do you 47? Do you do like a bit of like basic mixing when you're like recording tracks?
Well, yeah. So for the first time I ever recorded anything, I had the most budget set up. I had just a little speaker. I put my phone on it.
I know the vibes.
And then
I know the vibes.
and then mixing. But then eventually, like when I wanted to take it more seriously, I invested in a mic.
Little
and
Scarlet
then-
Studios.
Yeah, well, I mean, I got one of those Rode NT1s, so it was a nice little setup. I had my laptop, but the mixing, like it was just pure basics. You'll just go through all the filters on there. I was using Adobe Audition to do it.
Got to start somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know all the technicalities, but for so long that I'd been building up my tracks and the portfolio and stuff, I never had like the network or the opportunity to go to studios or find engineers. And then, so I first originally was working with these boys in Manchester from my first ever gig. And they go to uni there, and they had the production facilities. And I was working with them. It went really well. I had a release with Evil Eye, and Breaking the Rules. I worked with them, so I've really enjoyed them, and I still keep in contact with people. I'm happy to work about. And then me and Beck, we were going back and forth for so long, like he said. And
one day you just kind of came together. And like,
yeah, it
let's
was at
do
the
this.
show. Like I'm surprised we left it that long to meet. To be fair,
100%.
But when we were there, we were just like, right, let's do this. And then we went. The first track we did was Cash, which I dropped on Thursday actually. So
I think I saw a little thing on your Instagram.
Yeah, no,
Hard.
I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate it.
Hard.
I'm trying to set levels every time and just climb it up.
But I think I rate that because I know as a producer engineer, you know, it must be really refreshing. Like when an artist comes, you're like, oh yeah, can you turn the EQ here? Can you put this effect on my voice? Because it's like obviously makes your job easier because they have an idea of what like their sound is.
Yeah, 100%. Like when it comes to like the mix and mastering, you just send me a list of notes.
Yeah,
so
that's the
artists out
feedback.
there, get some ideas down. Like when you get a mix, send timestamps of what you're not happy with. And it just makes it so much faster. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry, no. carry on. No, you can interrupt me.
I don't want to be the guy that's interrupting it. But like when I'm listening to a track, I feel like I know I've got a vision for where it goes and like certain ad libs or effects and stuff. In terms of like the EQ and all those like compression effects, like I know what it sounds like, but I don't know the technicalities of it.
The really deep.
And that's where Beck comes in. He's very intricate with it. And he's got that lot on lock. So
I fully believe that's very necessary for artists, especially the ones that want to take themselves seriously, to have like a basic understanding of mixing. It's vital.
Just having the foundation, because I feel like it helps you level up your sound as well.
Massively. Because then when you know that you can sit down, obviously with your engineer here as well, and really discuss like, okay, I want to sound like this, and you can help him understand what's in your head, because that's always the hardest thing. You have this idea in your head, and you need to be able to communicate and translate that for other people to understand as well.
Exactly.
So
music's such a weird thing where if you don't really know the terms and stuff,
the jargon,
it's just like, oh, I want it to sound moody, or I want it to sound like, and it's just like. But the thing is, you get to a stage of like when I first started off on like at UTM Studios, is like where I engineer now. It's just trying to decide. It's like learning the language of like how people.
It is another language, yeah, of course.
I now I'm a bit easy to take on. I want something like moody. All right, okay, but at first it's just like wow.
So could you tell me like how you started UTM Studios? Like, do you own it? Like
no, I don't own it. It's run by a guy called John. Big up John.
Big up John.
So it's set up funding Donovan, his son who died. So rest in peace. So he's created this to help kids out and stuff like that, to really like put themselves on the map basically and get the actual helping hand that they need. So, but the way that I landed that job, it was crazy. Like I remember I'd done I've done like a beat collab with someone, like, you know, just sent like some mellows out to some people, and like I never did that anyway. And then just like the one person, he happened to be from Leeds, and then saw in a story like, oh, project happening in Leeds, anyone want to get down on it? I was like, yeah,
Maybe hop on.
Yeah. I was down for doing anything at that point. And then next thing you know, I've got like 2-stage interview or something, and then I'm in. And then I think started off about with 12 engineers in that place. So the studio's based in Leeds. I started off in York, and there's 12 engineers, and I was making sure I was snapping up every single opportunity. So they'll be put into like the group chat, like,
you're hungry for it.
Session here, who can get it? I'll be traveling 40 minutes, hour and a half to get there every single time, every single one. Do you know what I mean? And then you had like producers and engineers who literally lived like 20-minute walk away, and it can be asked. Do you know what I mean?
It's the hunger for it, man. It's like you either want it or you don't, man.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
And it pays off. It pays off like 100%. Like, we've now had opportunities down there that, you know, has been given to me simply because of my hard work and stuff like that. So we met Slow Tie,
Dutchavelli,
yeah. And then we just had Yard Acting recently, a local band in Leeds. Okay. But they tell you what, they were class, to be fair. They raised over £1,000 for the studio.
Really?
Basically, to help out for like workshops, because we put workshops on to help on with the kids, you know, who suffer with like bad mental health and stuff
and
like that.
Maybe from a bad environment. And
yeah,
things
literally,
like that.
So we just want to be able to like help the community, basically. And they did that. They sold a shirt, and all the money that was raised was given to us to basically help fund for that sort of stuff. And then we had James, the lead singer, in the other day, and
he was class. He gave feedback on all the tracks. He just sat there. He was a very humble guy. It's a token to his character. And I also with the studio as well, like in terms of what John's been doing. Like as soon as I came in, it was a very like welcome environment. It's like,
did you feel like a family? Like,
absolutely. I can see that, and like I like what they're doing and building.
I think the northern kind of scene is very, maybe I want to say, slept on.
Nah, for sure, man. I mean, we from York really. That, like in terms of like a big rise, I don't think it's been on the map like across the UK and stuff.
No, I've got something which I want to ask, which we'll get into. But another question for you, Beck. Like, what are the key qualities you look for when you're like, that's an artist I want to manage? What, like, can you list them? Because I think maybe any young artists are watching us now who are like really serious in what they're doing, and you're someone, you know, on your rise, and you know you've made your connections in your network. What is something you look for to manage an artist?
Well, to be honest with you, it's to literally like I have loads of really talented artists come through. Like, that's now not a rare thing anymore.
I know, that's mad to say. That's mad to say as well.
Yeah, it's like the amount of class people I've worked with. It's like, you know, there's tons of talent, especially like up north. There's loads, but it's almost having this business side to you of being able to how to market yourself, how to react with your audience, like being like in like social media savvy, like being able to like how to work and navigate all these sort of sites. So like for me to manage you, I just want to be able to go like, okay, let's try pushing this, try pushing that. It's almost just giving ideas to make it easy. I don't want to be sat there on my phone as a producer engineer already with tons of work. I just want to be able to make the links, say, there you go, let's push for this direction. But yeah, it's just get a business. Just, honestly, this industry nowadays, you need a business mindset.
Absolutely. I feel like the game is just marketing now.
It is.
It's just like,
you see it all the time. Like you see like half talented people blowing up, man. Like on TikTok, they're that Lil's geezer. What was that? My zoo goes up. I'm like, it's like what the hell is that? But it's all just.
But he's done bits though. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like he put that out, and then he saw an opportunity and he seized it.
Yeah.
And that's what people need to do. If anything comes around like that, I know for first hand I'd snap on it.
Yeah.
So it's just about continuing it, but having like a backlog of tracks ready to go. I feel like that's what I've been trying to do.
I understand. I'm kind of in a similar boat level with that as well. Is like having like a bunch of really good songs you can stand and be like, yeah, I'm proud of this. But then you need to add that, like you said, that marketing to the equation, and making sure the eyeballs are really getting drawn to you, because otherwise it's just a waste, isn't it?
It's a patient game. I feel like what I've been doing over the past few years in terms of working with Beck and then those boys in Manchester and just all the stuff that I've been loading up. I've got like a few tracks ready for like the rest of the year and the start of next year that I can just set a consistent pace of releases, and the main focus I need to do is just pumping out content, try and market it correctly, make the right networks, meet the right people, like doing stuff like this, which I appreciate the opportunity and stuff.
That's all right.
But that's it. I feel like we're all on the same journey. We've all got the same goal to try.
Yeah, we're all trying to achieve. It's
Absolutely.
very similar common ground, and I think what you said there is like having a team, because there's a lot of people have this like, I don't need anyone, and I think that's a really, really damaging mentality to have, especially in the industry we're in. You need to find common people to work with who want to go in the same
in
area.
all aspects of life as well. I feel like humans are built to work together. Do you know what I mean? So
there's a fantastic saying about that. I think I might have said this before. It's like, if you're a man in the savannah, you throw a rock at a lion, you're gonna piss off the lion. It's gonna kill you. If you get 16 tribesmen to throw a rock at a lion, you probably kill the lion. Do you know what I mean? It's like that. Humans are built to come together and work
collective and stuff, and that's where you get some big unique projects that come about that make a difference.
But what the worst thing is, I feel like, it's the competitiveness brings out the worst in everybody.
Yes, it does.
And like, I'm not saying it doesn't affect me, because it affects everybody. But it's just, I feel like I'm just sick of it affecting me now. So it's just almost like, let everyone do what they do, but at the same time, it's just like, let us drive apart. Do you know what I mean? There's like tons of people to work for. Let's just work together. Do you know what I mean?
That would be nice in an ideal world.
Love, peace and love. Man.
Yeah, peace and love. I know. In an ideal world, that would be fabulous. But the reality is, it's cutthroat, man. It's cutthroat, and it's savage, savage. And you need to have thick skin, or you'll just get demolished, man. Like, it's even now, like, you know, there's tens and tens of thousands of artists out there. Like, there's probably 100 artists on the street right now. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, how am I gonna set myself apart from everyone else? I wanted to ask you as well, Beck, like, obviously, you know, you manage 47 and Jake's. Do you want to manage more artists, or are you happy with the two you have now?
I feel like at the moment I think we're all just starting out. I think we just want to find our formula.
Yeah.
And then once we found the formula, be more recruitment based of like that. But that's if you fit
the
things.
mold,
like, if we could build a team up together and just push each other together, that would be the best way forward. But it realistically now, it's just focusing of just trying to get you guys to just get noticed, basically.
And I feel like it's the way I look at the relationship between the team. It's not like there's like a big gap between us. Like, we're all working together. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm really encouraging like Beck's growth in terms of just all of the stuff he's pushing, and like in terms of Dean and the behind the scenes, and UTM, like what everyone's doing. I'm just happy to push it, and like if you're gonna, it's just like help each other out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
No,
I don't think there's been like a big gap between.
Yeah. So big up to Dean, who also helps me out on the management and everything like that. Yeah. It also, like, you know, saves the load of. I think it's easier when you've got a team about with you, and I can imagine you guys know that.
We do indeed, like we have our conflicts, but we also.
It's a sick dynamic though. I feel like doing stuff with family as well. It's like
it does, because it keeps it in house. Like, I think ultimately we know, like, whatever disagreements we have, like, we'll never betray each other. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I mean,
Family's a powerful thing.
It is a powerful thing. So obviously you said, you know, you work with a bunch of talented artists, like you know, coming from Leeds. I'll get to you kind of being from York and transition to Leeds, but obviously you're from Leeds, yeah, and you know, you work with a bunch of talented artists. The only kind of big name I hear from Leeds is Graft. Like, why do you think there's not been like a household name yet in Leeds, or do you think Graft is on his way to being that person?
The thing is with Leeds, yeah. So I'm not like originally like from Leeds. I ain't grown up. I've just been like about on the scene for like past 2 years, sort of thing. So I was like, I'm originally from Peterborough, then York, then Leeds. So I'm a bit of a mutt.
You're a bit of a nomad.
Yeah. But like coming to Leeds and like looking at the scene, it's like you have got your big artists. Like, I feel like it's a lot harder because we don't really have anywhere where there's no platforms for the artists to shine. There's nothing, like, when it comes to shows, we've tried putting on shows and everything like that. They're like, Leeds is quite big on the electronic music and stuff like that.
Raves and
rave scene.
It's massive.
But when it comes to artists and stuff, they think, that's just going to bring trouble and stuff like that.
Ah, I see.
So
what do you think of that? Like, why do you think there's that kind of connotation with like rap and hip hop music? Do you blame drill, or do you?
I don't know, because you had that with grime ages ago. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, saying this, like, you go to like all these like techno raves and you see bare man just
All
slinging
spice
drugs
bottles.
around.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like I saw a thing saying like something about like electronic music like references drugs more than anything else.
Yeah.
Like, and, like compared to like
hip hop
and rap music.
yeah.
But I guess like the side of it's a little different. Do you know what I mean? One's like popping it, the other one's like maybe selling it.
I feel like if opportunities came about now, more venues would probably be more enticed to push rap. I feel like rap in the recent years it's become so commercialized that like this is what everyone's listening to now. It's like a few years ago it was like you dance music and stuff, and that was like in the charts, and then you pop and stuff. But like I feel like rap, it's just about finding the right people and convincing them this is what we need to do.
And also on top of that, so I feel like once you can get the venue down and stuff like that, but for the small eyes, go support your mates if they're performing.
Bro, that
Honestly,
say
mate.
that louder for the man in the back, please,
Yeah,
because
man,
like
please.
it's always interesting because you always get the most support from people you don't know,
100%.
Yeah, exactly.
and it's weird how that works, isn't
Yeah.
it? Unless you're like headlining Glastonbury. They're like, oh yeah, you're doing your music thing. Yeah, I rate that. But
Yeah.
it's like, you know, they don't really care unless you are.
Unless
that
you
popular,
make
like,
it,
yo,
no.
47, yo, I went to
remember
school
me?
with you.
Yeah.
Remember me, bro? I served you that thing in Mackey's that one time. What you say? But
You know
it's
that.
like I think it's a
It's
fundamental.
the journey though, isn't it?
It's a fundamental thing of human nature. Do you know what I mean? It's like you want like the grand big things now, and if you know someone that's on it, then it's like yeah, get me involved, because it's like they're getting immense value out of being around with you because you're a massive popping artist.
Exactly.
Do you know
And
what
I don't
mean?
think for some people it might be their intention for that, but I think maybe subconsciously that's what they attract to.
I
like
think
you
that's what it is
said,
subconsciously.
it's like that they'll, if it's not in front of their face, then they'll dismiss it until it is in front of their face.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
And unfortunately, that, like I said, that's just the way of the world. That's human nature, and you just gotta gel yourself, obviously, with people like Beck and people who are in that same mindset, who are gonna push you, and you're gonna get to
you're
where
a
you
product
want
of
to
your
go.
environment.
Facts.
So like
Big
if you're
facts.
surrounding yourself by people that are doing fuck all,
Yeah.
or they're kind of like dismissing their own goals,
Yeah.
like I'm so sure that everyone has their own goals, whether that be big or small. Like there's something to work towards. But if you're surrounding yourself by positive people that are going to push you and they're going to support you, or you're going to support them, sorry. Yeah, that's how you make change, innit? And I feel like for a message for a lot of people, like if you think that within your group there are people that are just like not helping you get to where you want to be, it's not necessarily like a cutting people off, and like it doesn't have to be that dramatic, but maybe branch out.
But
and
I
find
think
people.
sometimes you need to do that, though.
No, absolutely.
Sometimes
I've
that's
cut out
necessary,
some
man.
dead weights in my life.
You
You know
have
what I
to,
mean?
like,
And that's how I've
yeah.
leveled up. But like, I hold no grudges. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not a person that has beef with anyone.
I
Like,
can tell. You seem like a very calm, relaxed
Mate,
guy.
I'm always calm, innit?
until someone really pushes you.
no, that's it. That's
Yeah,
it.
I sense that in your character, man.
Well,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, no, I appreciate that you noticed that.
Mm.
But like, my main motto is like, I'll treat everyone like family
Yeah.
until you give me a reason not to.
disrespect me.
Yeah, like so. Even when I first met Beck, and like, it's just I feel from the get go, I was just
Yeah.
like, yeah, like, what are we doing? Like high energy, just like positive. What are you up to? And just elevating it. But then in the past, like, I've been through too much shit to like just stress about what people care, like think about me. Do you know what I mean?
Bro, that is, I love that you say that, because it's something all of us, I guess, in this room that, you know, we've had a bit of an obstacle to get over. It's like, you know, we're so clouded and like shackled almost by people's opinions, like, especially when we're younger as well. You know, we care about what, like, you know, your family, you know, people from school,
That's character
what they
building,
think of you. It is character building, and it's a big thing to get over. But like, once you get over it, it's so liberating to be like, I genuinely do not give a fuck what anyone thinks of me. Like, I'm just me. I'm just being me in this existence and expressing myself in X way. I've got one more question for you, Beck, before we transition over to the main man himself. What do you think is really required for an artist to blow today? As you are in this managerial kind of producer.
It's the golden question, isn't it?
It's the golden question. I don't know. I feel like you need to have a distinct voice in some sort of way. You need to be able. I think I heard Metro Boomin say this recently. It's like, what makes an artist, like, you know, stand out to you? And I took on. I was like, yeah, you need to be able to listen to that track and go like, all right, that's 47. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
And I took that on board.
47, man, in the building, bro.
That's the energy we need.
Yeah. But I like, to be honest, like, apart from that, you need a business mind on you, marketing. You just need to be able to brand yourself. Honestly, as we're saying, your music can be shit, but you can still blow
off. Yeah.
So, but also just grind it out. You got to be able to be dedicated to this game. You've got to be able to push yourself. Like
consistency as well.
Consistency. Like that's the thing. When me and 4T7 are in the studio together, the amount of tracks that we have got stacked up now is crazy. Some of them might not even see the day of light. It's just a lot of artists are impatient. The amount of sessions I've got with people is like, oh, we've done this, right, let's just stick it out there.
Music video.
Done.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, take some care, take some planning, do all that sort of shit. And if the planning takes you a long way, do you know what I mean? For a release and everything, it's just patience.
There's a saying, it's, if you if you don't plan, you plan to fail. Like I forgot what the exact saying. What's the saying? What's the saying, Gabe?
I'm gonna get that one on my wall.
If you don't plan, you plan to fail. There's a say, fail to plan to fail. I can't remember what it is, but it's true what you're saying. It's like it's having that blueprint to follow.
And set goals as well. Yeah. So important. Like even for myself, like some of my goals might seem like, oh, dude, that's crazy. But that's something to aim for.
Nothing's too crazy.
It's manifesting, mate. Yeah. Manifestation is real, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think the reason why I want to say this because I feel like we always have this like, oh, I'm being realistic, but I feel that you're putting a ceiling above you. Like I can only be this great. Do you know what I mean?
I feel that's what hinders a lot of people from reaching their potential.
Limiting beliefs, definitely.
The sky's the limit. Just chase it.
Oh yeah, like for me, people thought crazy at the start, like, oh, I'm just doing the music for this is what I'm gonna do. And my parents like, you're gonna be doing that.
You should be going to university.
And then it's just like, my head right now, I'm at the point where it's just like, no, this is doing. I'm getting this. I'm getting that. I've got my list of all the things of what I've got to do to get there. It's just ticking them off. And I feel like artists, anyone really in the game, just have that sort of thing.
Have that sort of mentality.
Yeah. Ask people who are in professionals in the industry you want to do that in, of like how you can achieve that. You can't just set a goal of like Grammy, release song, done. No,
it don't work like that.
No, you need to get like realistic like little goals to set in between and do your research and everything like that.
So it's being strategic, methodical, and calculated in how you move.
100%. And just find your formula.
Yeah.
Find your formula.
I like that. Find your formula, bro. That should be like a quote. Yeah. Find your formula.
T-shirts coming out next week.
No, it's because loads of people blow up. It's like, yeah, this is how I did it. I'm going to sell a whole course of how I've done this now. And it's just like...
But that worked for them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like you've got like, for example, we're up north, we're in New York, we're in Leeds. It's like, we've got to find our formula for up here. That's down in London. We can't go down to shows every week and everything like that. So.
I wish, bro. I wish. I feel like if I was in London, I'd be really seizing those opportunities and just showing your face. But
London, it's like, sorry, bro.
I mean, I feel like it's so saturated though, because like there will be loads of events, but how easy is it to get noticed when you go to those events? Because there's like just thousands of rappers that are just showing up, and it's like, I feel like it's better to build up a foundation in terms of like your brand, your marketing, and then going for those opportunities. So when people do actually search you, you've got a backlog of like, you've got a foundation, exactly. Like set up your Spotify and make it look clean, get some good photos on there, get a good description, make yourself look the part, and then people will follow you from there. Do you know what I mean?
I definitely agree with you. I think London is a whole beast in itself, and it obviously is probably like 80% of the UK rap scene, and almost in an unfortunate way, it's like it overshadows like the rest of the UK.
Absolutely.
And it's exactly why we started Matchbox, because I was trying to get a music video onto GRM, and it was like $5 bills. I'll have my money aside, happy to pay for it, but like they just never get back to you. And I've heard some
I've tried them, and the emailing took some time, and then they just reject it, and then it's like,
sort yourselves out, JRM.
but this is what I mean, and I've even heard some artists where they take the money off and they don't even post your fucking video, man. And that's just like that. I just think that's just like what the hell, man. You know what I mean? Like you're meant to be providing the service, and you're taking money, and you're not even putting the video that these artists are putting on. And it's kind of like what I was asking you earlier. It's like reason why we started all of this. It's because we want to be what you're saying, build a foundation, be a platform for like the West Midlands, and maybe by extension even up north as well. So we can showcase the talent and really give artists a chance to demonstrate what they're about.
I respect what you're doing, innit? So I feel like you got the vision, and it's just, again, just patience, isn't it? Like when we were speaking to James, when he came over, he was saying that like they've been grinding out events and sets through like empty rooms and stuff, and it took them. So he was in a band prior for like 10 years or something, and then he was like grinding out for another 4 years until they made like their hit.
So they just popped off.
Yeah, and then from there, it's just the grind. You gotta love what you do. I feel like once you find your passion, you won't work a day in your life.
You have to keep doing it, and as well, because it may even take 10 years, like, but like it's still worth it in the end anyway. Because when you have that day and it's just starts inclining, then it's like exponential growth, and boom, 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 you start growing bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So 47, I'm gonna want to like transition this to you now. So you're originally from York, right?
I am from York, yeah.
Okay, so would you say you're involved with Leeds, or are you more to York, or does it kind of all accumulate into like a northern scene?
It's kind of a northern scene. I'm from York. I've lived in York my whole life.
Yeah.
So I was actually born in Abu Dhabi.
I was gonna ask this because I was watching about your ethnicity. I was thinking Turkish, Egyptian.
I'm English, mate. I'm English. No, I'm joking. So I'm from Iraq. So from Baghdad.
I could see that. Yeah.
You got those Arab looks.
You got that Arab look. Yeah.
So I'm three quarters Iraqi, quarter Persian. So from Iran. But I've lived in York for my whole life. So I came here when I was like 3 months old. Yeah. And my brother, because I've got a brother and sister, and they're older than me, and they lived in York before we went to Abu Dhabi. Yeah. So I went there and came back, and then I've just been in the York scene. So I've been making music since I was like 9. Just like writing shitty love songs and all of that.
What was your inspiration for that? Why did you just wake up like, I want to make, even in your 9-year-old head, like why?
I think it was my sister, because my sister, she's got an angel of a voice, and like she'd always be just singing in the house and stuff, and then it'll be in my ears, and then maybe that was my way of like being creative.
Inspired.
So any thoughts in my head, I'll just put it to paper. Do you know what I mean? And that's my way of expressing it. Like there's no chance I'm going to just stop making music, because like that's literally my way of keeping sane. Do you know what I mean? Like absolutely. So I've got other outlets. I like to keep very busy in terms of my stuff. So I've got my fighting as well, my training.
I got a fighting vibe from you. Do you boxing, MMA?
So I was doing MMA, so
he knocked the guy out.
It was a TKO, yes. I had an MMA match. Yeah. So when I was in university, so I go to uni in York. So I do business management. And then whilst I was there, I feel like I've never really been academically motivated or inclined. Like I can do it, I'm fully capable. And when there's like a job, I'll get it done, do you know what I mean? But my sole passion is music and training. If I can manage to tie all these little things into a network and do it for the rest of my life, make a business around it, a brand, ideally make 4T7 into a brand in the future, that's the goal.
That's that stolen.
I think you've got the awareness and like I need to, like we said a keyword there, brand, and a lot of artists don't really recognize that. So you know what you're building towards, and that tells me you're gonna get to where you're going, my friend. You're gonna get to where you're going. Do you know what I mean? We're all still hella young here, so
we've got time. You'll see people that are at the top of the game. They're like in their 30s. Do you know what I mean? Like
40s, man.
30s, 40s. Yeah. So we've all got time. The dream's gonna come true. Just gotta keep plodding forward.
Consistency. So what was it? Obviously, I kind of asked Beck, like, why was he interested in managing you? What was it about Beck that you thought, like, yeah, I'm going to let this guy manage me?
Well, I mean, it's like, it happened really naturally, to be fair. It wasn't like a flick of the switch.
Were you looking for a manager in that period of time?
In reality, it was more just to make a track with him. Like, I was just, because I saw what he was doing at UTM, and I was seeing some of his work, and like, because I knew him through mutuals. So he was actually in my sister's year at school, and then we would you'd see each other on socials, because like the York scene's very small, and then I just reached out to him. I was like, fuck it, let's just get it done. Do you know what I mean? Let's stop slacking. Showed up, and then just from there it's just trickled on. He's been so welcoming to me, and like I'm grateful for the opportunities. Like he's sourcing for me, and like I feel like we just bounce off well. It's not really like I was saying earlier. It's not like I'd look at him, you're my manager, and stuff like this.
Like a hierarchy.
No, not at all. It's like we're both on this thing together. Like
we go out drinking. Like it's not like we don't hang out. You know, it's like we go.
Your brethrens as well.
That's first. Do you know what I mean? If I feel like the people you're working with should feel like your friends and family. Do you know what I mean? Because then that's where the trust comes.
Facts. Because it's the human part of it as well.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
If you pull up to our session, we'll be pissing ourselves.
I can't wait to pull up to the man living up in York and Leeds. I know you guys like to get wavy.
Man, I'm telling you. But even in the sessions, I'm a fucking. He can vouch for it. I'm a little lunatic in the studio.
Who gets more pissed? I feel like I don't know actually. I feel like I want to say you, but I feel like secretly it might be you.
No, but to be fair,
we don't get pissed in the studio.
We're very we're here to work. This is our work today, so we're all like that. But we'll go it's like afterwards, like after parties and stuff like that. That's our time to drink.
That's what I mean. Like
exactly.
in the after parties,
work hard, play hard, innit? That's
after
it.
Parties, who will drink more?
Who gets more active?
I think I'd say it's me for sure.
Yeah,
it'll be you maybe. I feel I can keep composed. I could have all sorts, and you just wouldn't have a clue.
Yeah. I can tell, but you, bro, I can tell. You get active.
I get loud.
You loud.
Top maybe come off or something like that, but yeah, some weird shit.
Because I know you Northern man like to drink, man. Do you?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, what's it like down here?
I mean,
you guys drink?
Drink, but it's probably about the same as well. Drugs, man. Do you know what I mean? Like everyone's fucking like the rave scene. Everyone's either sniffing something or just blazing bare zoots, man. Do you know what I mean? It's probably very similar around the rest of the UK.
It's just the UK, man.
It is our culture, isn't it? Is it?
Yeah,
that's the
unfortunately, it is, man.
That's the horrible thing about this culture, because I feel like recently, anyway, it's just like even when summer comes about, you are out drinking all the time, and that I just tried to try and do stuff more sober nowadays. So I recently have been going to raves and stuff just sober. I just it's easy when the music's good. If the music's dead, it's like, ooh.
Yeah, I need to go. Yeah.
But
you know it.
I'm just trying to break the system a little bit of just being forced to drinking all the time due to
peer pressure. I'm maybe lucky to not succumb to it as much. I feel like
you feel very resilient to it.
I'm a resilient guy.
No, I believe you, man. You said that with chest.
No, I feel like if I'm feeling it, I'm not shy to go have a wild night or a good night. But then if I'm not feeling it, I'll just say it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, chill out, guys.
Okay, so that I think like I said earlier, I was wanting to get into the chemistry between you, and I wanted to ask you 4T7. So, are you exclusively using beats made by Beck, or are you still dabbling with YouTube type beats?
Well, a lot of the tracks I was loading up in terms of just in my notes, I've just got loads of songs. I'd find them all on YouTube, type beats, whatever. You just and then I'll just buy them, show up to the studio. I come prepared with beats, but then recently we've got a track coming up in the future, which I'm very excited for. So I think this is going to be the next release.
This is just keep your keep your eyes peeled for this.
Yeah,
one.
Man, I'm excited. This one, Beck just sent me a beat and was like, just hop on this. And for so long, when you're on YouTube and you're trying to find a beat,
you just
can't find the sound, mate, and they're not hitting. And then I was looking for some sort of summery Afro style, mate.
Okay.
And because I like to sing as well, I kind of got
he
some
can
little,
sing.
Oh,
He can sing.
I've got some singing vocals.
You like some melodies.
Yeah, but it's not I feel like it's a right blend. You can tell that I'm rapping, but it's melodically singing. But he sent me this beat and I was like, yeah, I wrote the track within half an hour. Sometimes it'll take me weeks to write a track or days, but then when you catch the vibe and the flow, mate, it just comes, and then you just, but because I write on my phone or my laptop actually. I don't know how do you write?
It's what I'll do is I'll find a beat, and then I'll be I get up, I start writing on my notepad, it's up there. And then I transit onto pen to pad, and then I get my raw notes on my pen to pad, and then I put it onto a computer text. Do you know what I mean? Just so I can see it, and then I'll whack it on there. I just start spitting some of it, and then if I don't like something, change it, and then just kind of chop and change. But sometimes what you kind of said, that I've had a massive suffering from writer's block sometimes.
Absolutely,
I'm just I'll get a spur of a chorus or a verse. I'm
and
like,
it
yes,
just stays
this
in
is
the notes for
it does, man. And then
months,
I've got 10 half songs, and because I can't, I'm staring at the screen for hours. And then you start getting frustrated, and then it's probably not
the
good
song
art.
becomes cursed in the end.
Yeah,
there's so many tracks that I've just been so like meaning to finish that had so much potential, but then like you don't want to force it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it'll come like when I'm feeling the vibe. Maybe I'll stop listening to the beat. It's probably because I've played the beat on repeat for about 100 times whilst I was trying to think of bars.
I know
And then
the
I
vibes of that. Yeah.
Start hating the sound.
Yeah.
And then I'll stop listening to it. A few months down the line, I'll listen to it. I was like, fucking hell, this is
It's
a good
cold.
beat.
Yeah,
This is a decent
yeah,
beat.
yeah, yeah.
Why didn't I think of this? And then you catch the vibe again, you start writing again, and then it comes to you. So it's all patience, like we were saying. This whole game, like I'm doing it on the side because like I can manage my time. I've got my fingers in a lot of things.
Pies,
Yeah, so like, but when it comes, I feel like I've got the potential for it. I'm backing it up. We're doing it for. I appreciate that. I believe in myself and I believe in the team, and like,
And that's
what
all
we're
you need,
building
bro.
towards.
That's literally all you need. You have the essential building blocks there. The rest is just consistency and time.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
exactly.
mean? And then the right things will happen to you. You know, may God be good and give you your blessings, man. Do you know what I mean, man?
Exactly.
So, 47. I am a brand new listener. I'm on Spotify scrolling. Spotify's recommended me one of your songs, and it's come into my playlist. Why should I stop and listen to you as opposed to the thousands of other eyes I could potentially listen to? What makes you unique?
I don't know. I feel like when you listen to my music, you can kind of catch a different vibe. I'm not trying to be anything I'm not. You won't see me rapping about
Guns and
violence and all this
yeah,
chingy splashy stuff, mate.
Yeah.
I'm just me. I put my just like whatever you hear on the track is me. It's very authentic.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's kind of, I've had a lot of feedback, people finding me on like Instagram ads that I've been running or just through the posts that I've been doing. They said it's really refreshing to see like
You just been yourself.
yeah, and even my style, like sometimes I'm not dripped out, but like I feel like it's very unique to me. Do you know
It's
what I
subtle.
mean?
It's subtle.
Yeah.
Subtle drip.
Yeah,
that's
man.
why I said to you when I came in, I'm like, yo, this guy looks good.
No,
man.
I
Do you know what
appreciate
mean?
that. I
It's like
appreciate it.
subtlety, but it's simple.
So I
It
think
works.
like if you see me on Spotify or anything, just join the wave because it's gonna take off, mate. You're either with me or you're not.
I think it's vibey. I feel like it's like, I don't know, you've got like a certain vibe about you which you manage to project out on all of your tracks. And
But
like
There's a lot of like versatility. I feel every track won't be the same. There's a completely different style. Like you go from Breaking the Rules, which is more of like a chill bop. You can just put it on in the car or just like do a little workout to it. And then Evil Eye, it's a bit harder, but it's also like you can tell it's me, but then it's a completely different style. And then I've got like singing stuff, R&B stuff, garage tracks. I've got some hard rave tracks because one day I want to pull up on a rave and just fucking just go ham, mate. Yeah, because I feel like I'd be in my element there.
Do you suffer from, or did you have any like self-doubts or limiting beliefs you had to get over, like when you start putting music out there?
Absolutely. And I feel sometimes it comes in waves, you know what I mean? Your mentality, I feel like your mind is your biggest enemy. So sometimes you're feeling like the shit, and then the next day you're feeling shit. And growing up, like people would be laughing at my music and stuff, and like I'd still do it. I feel like it was a testament to my character, really. Maybe it was just deep rooted in me from my family and stuff to just keep pushing. But I kind of just block out the noise.
I respect that so much because like I feel that on a level it's very, very relatable, and it was actually going to be my next question as well. Like, how has your music and everything you do, like what reactions have you had from like your hometown specifically, maybe like your family or people from school? Like how
It's all been positive, to be fair. And I mean, the people that don't like it haven't been speaking up, so you can stay in the background.
Stay in your lane, nigga. Stay in your fucking
I'm
lane.
still doing my thing, innit? So, but no, honestly, the people that support me, I love them so much, and like, it doesn't go unnoticed. Like anyone who messages me, I'll reach out to them. I mean, it's a humble start. Do you know what I mean? I'm not trying to separate myself from the rest. When I meet people, like I said, they're family. No matter if you listen to my music or you don't, I'm still going to treat you as me, not as like 4T7 and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
I can really, and I think people like that, like you'll get a lot of respect from people because you know you're not trying to be the big dog's bollocks. I'm sure like there's a big part of you that is ego driven, and as I think a healthy amount of ego is good to be like I am sick, I know what I'm on. But it's a balance because you don't want to be Mr. Arrogant, like I'm the big G, blah 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 blah. Because
you'll be quickly humbled, mate. Like especially like with the whole training and fighting thing. Like
fighting humbles you, man.
Honestly, as soon as you step into that gym, it's like there's some dogs in there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because
and they're ready to bite. But it's like, what do you boys train as well?
We box, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
sick.
and like, we go to a gym, and yeah, like I was like, we went training the other week, and I was saying to my brothers, like that guy over there, man, the tall white guy, bro, he's a killer, man, absolute killer, and because you know, so many guys they walk around like, yeah, like you don't want to see me angry, blah blah blah, bro, it's the cringiest shit. It's the cringiest shit I ever hear. I'm like, bro, you have no idea what fighting's like. Fighting's hard, man. It's hard. It tests you, and people always have this negative thing. Oh yeah, the fighting's bad. Not in a gym, because it shows you who you are, and it shows you like what you're about and like what you're willing to fight through, and I think it brings out some really positive aspects for out of your character.
For sure, and I feel like that's why people implement fighting for their whole life. Like I don't see myself stopping training. I mean, when I moved to Leeds, I didn't have a lot of time to do the MMA side, but I was still training, staying fit, lifting weights and stuff. But as soon as I get back to York, I'm back in that gym, and just grafting, trying to get another fight. And just that's the grind. When you show up to an MMA gym, I feel like it can be daunting.
It is very
because some people like resist to take that first step because they're like, oh, I don't want to get hurt. But like when you go in there, just leave your ego at the door. That's number one rule.
I like that.
And like be a student of the game, be willing to learn, but also be accepting of the fact that there's levels to the game.
There is massive.
So you walk in, but just be yourself. Just say, I'm new. I want to learn. And then you'll have rounds and you practice, you'll do sparring and stuff, and you can literally say, don't be shy to say, I'm just going easy this round, but we'll just play around, you know what I mean?
And it's that attitude actually what makes what I've seen anyway, the best fighters, man. It's having that humility. Like, look, I'm not fucking Mike Tyson. I'm not like John Jones, and do you know what I mean? I'm here to learn, but with that kind of that student mentality of like, I'm here to learn everything as much as possible. I'm not the best. You will slowly start as you keep sparring and stuff like that. You know, you get better and get better, and you find how to slip jabs, and you find your footwork, and you find your I think
style as well.
Style, exactly, and that's why I think it's what's called martial arts, because a lot of people have different fighting styles, and maybe because I've seen a lot of rappers and stuff, they also train in martial arts as well, because it's maybe the two things kind of link as well. It's your own art form and your expression, whether it's in music or your fighting.
I feel
style.
like it's a way to turn my brain off as well, because definitely. It's very peaceful. When I was training, I was training twice a day, and it was the most peaceful time of my life, because all you're focused on is that 5 minutes. You turn on that timer, and then it goes off. You drink your water for another 5 minutes. All you're focused on is the person in front of you, and
all the background noise evaporates.
It just shuts off. And after the training session, I'm in the car, put on a beat, start just trying finding some lyrics and stuff, and that was my routine.
Okay, that's actually I want to ask you about that. So, do you think you are like purely talented? You just have a bunch of talent, or is it your work ethic and how many hours you're sinking into the music you do?
I think it's a balance of both. I feel like I don't know where this talent has come from. I do think it's there, and it's like I've always been able to write. Like I wish I could be a sick freestyler. Yeah, I can't freestyle for shit.
I hear that. Yeah,
but
I could have be
well, just off the dome. Like, but I mean, that takes practice. That takes the hours of just hard work of just learning it. But in terms of the lyrics, like during school, I was always a good writer, writing stories, very creative in that aspect. And then I take that to my lyrics, and that's where it comes from. But I'm not as consistent as I want to be, and I feel like there's always levels to hit.
It's always in ways to improve.
But that's just part of being humble. You know, there's always someone better than you, and it's just about. I want to be more consistent, but I feel like I'm doing a decent job currently, and sometimes I need to take a step back and give myself a pat on the back for what I've done, because sometimes it feels you get a bit lost in the sauce, and you're like, shit, there's so much. It's not good enough, and like you said in your head, but like, look at where we are now. We're still building it, man. We're young.
I try and say that as well. Like it's hard to, you're so narrow focused on where you want to be. It's like you can sometimes lose gratitude to what you've achieved.
Absolutely.
One of my final questions for you, 47, is what does success look like to you as an artist?
It's a deep question, because I feel like I don't. Success is very subjective to some people, and I feel like some people will never be satisfied. I just want to make the music I'm making. I want to hopefully make good impact on the people around me, for it to generate opportunities that I can do things. You know what I mean?
See, for me, I've got like a little scare of just like, will I ever be satisfied?
Yeah, I think my brother feels similar to that. To be honest, I think you definitely that definitely sounds like him. But yeah, it is that it's like it's when's enough? Do you know, when is enough, or is it never enough? You know what I mean? Like, you know, is it like, you know, you're in a mansion with 10 Lamborghinis on your drive, and like you're still like, nah, I'm not where I want to be.
Yeah, because the people that sometimes get that, they're still not satisfied.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I do want, my main goal in my younger years is financial freedom.
Yeah, financial.
I just like, I'm not bothered about making X amount. I just want to be able to do whatever the fuck I want
And not be shackled by having to work a
yeah
job.
exactly and turn your passion into your job, because like I said, once you find your passion, it don't feel like work. You're not working, you wake up and you're on grind mode. This is what I want to do. And then you keep showing up and you want to show up, and that's what success is for me. I'd say being in a position where I am flexible to literally do what I want, provide for the people around me, provide for myself, help the family out, buy my mum nice things and stuff like that, and just like, that's it, just live a happy life. I'm like, yeah, just do things I love.
I like that. I like that a lot. And on that note, I think I do have more stuff I would like to ask, but I think our time is coming short. So
No, but it's been a pleasure, man. I appreciate your time.
thank you guys for
Everyone.
coming
Been
on.
class, yeah.
Thank you
been
guys.
class.
Well, we'll do this again. Part 2 is definitely
No,
needed.
for sure. And thank you for
Definitely
listening as well.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
Thanks to all of you. This has been Matchbox. We'll see you on the next one. Signing off.
Test. You're listening to the best. I ain't an average rapper, so I say that with chest. I'm stuck on time, 1-5 to make it rhyme. These the words and the lyrics on the top of my mind. I'm coming high and mighty with a flavor so spicy. With a flavor so spicy. I'm making my dough, I'm making my pee. Now we're aiming for the top, now the top you see.